Economists agree that a high minimum wage harms low-income people and creates unemployment, and the marginalized are harmed the most. Where they disagree is on how many will be hurt and whether the benefits justify those harms. When I was on welfare, the question I dreaded was, what do you do? Then I got a job paying $100 a month. This was illegal. I was working for far below the minimum wage, but I felt part of society, got to explore my abilities, and made connections that helped me in so many ways. I felt I was contributing. Work is not just about money. Work provides a network of social relations and a sense of meaning and contribution. When the government makes work illegal for those who produce at lower than the minimum wage, it robs people of those benefits. There's a demand for labor and a supply for labor. Government intervention to impose a minimum wage creates a higher supply and lower demand for labor. We call this unemployment. Economics describes how things work, not how we wish they would work. We regret that people on the low side of the supply curve work for so little money. The simple solution: set a minimum wage and make all labor below it illegal. It turns out it's not so easy. Economists warn about the unintended consequences of interfering with the market. Certain people benefit from the minimum wage. For those producing just below it, they get pulled up as employers are willing to absorb some inefficiencies, at least for the short term. But for those a little farther down the supply curve, it is catastrophic. To move up the job ladder, we need to get on it first. The minimum wage makes sure many never get that chance. In British Columbia, 180,000 people produce below the minimum wage. It is illegal for them to work. They have been labeled unemployable. For them, there is welfare. They are allowed to work, but only if they work for free as volunteers. They are casualties of the minimum wage. This is especially tragic for people with significant disabilities or serious employment barriers. British Columbia used to have sheltered workshops and innovative employment options in which people with significant disabilities at the lower end of the supply curve could make less than the minimum wage. Well-meaning people sued to force these agencies to pay the minimum wage. The result? Sheltered workshops and innovative employment opportunities shut their doors. Now, people stay at home and collect welfare checks. For them, no opportunities, money, social relations, purpose, contribution. Let's identify those who are long-term unemployed with serious employment impediments and get them on the job ladder again. They keep all their disability benefits, and they can work at whatever rate they can negotiate. Money, social relations, purpose, contribution. And society gets a bigger economy. Well-meaning policies have harmed too many people. Let's legalize work.